Yeah, I don't think that's true. I mean,
it would be good if it was true.
Let me look it up real quick. That's somewhere later on the list, but might as well just, you're looking at it, so I'll look.
Oh, I just popped open TikTok while you were getting ready.
Jason Aldean didn't sue Whoopi Goldberg, The View, for defamation. A satire website made up that. Claim is country music star Jason Aldean has sued Whoopi Goldberg and ABC's The View for defamation in relation to his song. AP's assessment, false. Well, apparently, according to AP News, that didn't happen.
And Epstein did kill himself.
That's true.
Welcome to the show, folks. Sorry we skipped a week.
That's okay.
But you know, every now and again, a little part of my soul reignites, and life has a way of snuffing it out. So we missed last week.
No, we missed last week. Last week was actually my fault because I was working, and then I was working, and then Friday didn't really affect anything. I was up on a lake letting my 6-year-old daughter drive a boat at full throttle.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what you get for letting her play GTA at such a young age.
You know, speaking of GTA, this is interesting. Maybe you can answer this.
What's that?
I was going through my library on PlayStation. GTA is not on there. Not on the library, and not on the... Like, it's not installed right now on my system. I deleted it to make room because I haven't played it forever. Yeah. But it's not even on my library.
No.
It just doesn't exist. All my other games are, but for some reason, GTA is not. Even Battlefront 1 is still in my library.
When was the last time you updated it?
Who knows? When was the last time I updated Battlefront 1? Star Wars Battlefront 1. That's still there, though.
With GTA 5, so Battlefront 2, Battlefront 1, I know Battlefront 2 is still, the servers are still up and running.
Yeah, those are still going. 2's not.
No, 1 is not. 2 is.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 doesn't need update.
Right.
2, the other night, my little man wanted to play it, had to wait for like a half-hour update.
Has there been an update on
GTA?
Red Dead? Because that's been deleted off my system for ages too, but that's still in my library.
No, remember when they shut down Red Dead Online? That was the last time they did an update.
Did they shut it down?
Yeah. No, they haven't updated it. They just let the server run so people can still play.
See, that's how long it's been since I've been on it. I think when we first got up here, I turned it on once and rode up a mountain, and that was it, and I deleted it. It's really a shame. Like, that game, the single-player mode was magical.
The story mode.
And the online mode was so empty. It was like I equate it to this. It's like walking by this magnificent storefront. You're like, holy shit. It's like, for me, it'd be like Spirit Halloween. You walk up, it's like, oh my God, look at all the shit that they're advertising. You walk in, and it's a massive fucking warehouse of empty. I was like, man, there's so much potential in here, and there's just nothing there. What do we do all the time? What do I do all the time? I hunted, I fished, and occasionally got in a gun battle with somebody.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, because we figured out how to, we stole the wagon, and it got to the point where we were able to catch fish, but we caught too many and it glitched or something like that. No,
there was one, it's somewhere on the YouTube channel, on like one of my categories of gaming bullshit, but it's, the servers were bad that day.
Yeah.
There was, because I got up, I remember vaguely, I got up there, and I come up, I think it's, I'm up there fishing, and I'm talking to you, and I look at the map, and you're way down by this lake. I'm like, oh, yeah, I see you. You're down by whatever lake it's called. I can't remember. And you're like, no, I'm not. I'm right by you. Look. And I turn around, and I see a horse and no wagon and no you. And I'm like, you're not here.
Oh yeah.
So we had to try and figure out where the wagon was on each of our screens so we could load the fish in. And I was up there and I'm throwing fish in. You're like, it's not in the wagon. Oh, wait, it is in the wagon now.
Yes. As soon as you walked away, oh, there it is. Now it's back.
Yeah.
But you went and got another one. I think you threw it on. And, nope, the other one disappeared.
Yeah, it's when it did work, when it wasn't glitchy, we like loaded up with 4 or 5 fish and then bring them down and sell them for I don't remember what it was, like $20 a piece or something like that.
Yeah, we get like $100.
Yeah,
$150 in total out of it all.
which in that game, it's funny. I like heard like Red Dead to GTA. It's like, oh man, you get $100. Holy hell! In GTA, you do like a lame mission and get $5,000. You're like, it's gonna take forever.
I just need $100,000 to buy a car.
You remember the game when we used to dupe cars, like in the early
Oh my God.
before the modders and everything?
Yes.
Before all those guys.
On PS3.
We dupe
Oh
cars.
my God.
We dupe cars and get like, what was it, like 99,000 a piece, like every time?
Yeah, we would duplicate the car.
It was that sedan, it was that convertible,
Yep.
whatever it was.
The one dude, Dusty Dad, showed us.
Yes, right, yeah.
Dusty
and then we just did it
Dad.
over and over.
Yep. And then the modders came along.
Yeah, that one, I remember when that one fucking first happened. And I was on my own. That's one when I was like in some lobby and all of a sudden I'm just putzing around doing whatever. Had my modest like $250,000 I got from duping cars. I'm like, oh, I'm a high roller now. Look at me. And then all of a sudden it says plus like $99 million. I'm like, what? And I was like, I didn't know what it was. So I was like, I gotta get out of this lobby. So I went into a private lobby.
Yep.
And I just stayed there. I'm like, and then I like immediately text you like, dude,
Get on.
yeah. And it was like, I think it was very sparingly for a month or so. You really didn't see him. And then suddenly it was like a tsunami came in of modders and just fucking everyone.
Somebody put like a $4 billion bounty on some random name.
No, it was $8.1 billion, and it was the one you got was the negative $8.1 billion.
No.
Yeah, because it was they were in a blimp, and that was after I got like the $7.9 billion, and that's when you're like, God, the rich just keep getting richer.
Yeah. No, but if you remember, I was the first one. No, I went into the billions first because I was the one who's like, all right, asshole. I parked the tank on the guy. And the guy wasn't able to get up. So eventually so-and-so's left the lobby. Boom. The kill.
Maybe, yeah.
I get the kill. And it's like, plus, I remember, it wasn't like, it was like $4 billion if I remember correctly.
Whatever. I know the blimp though was like negative $8 billion, and we're like looking at it and like, I don't know, like what if we get it and it takes all our money away?
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck it, whatever, and you just go and like fly a plane into it or some shit, and then you're like, oh my God, dude,
I got the money.
Yeah,
That's right.
Ah, jeez, how did we get?
And then Rockstar were cunts.
Yeah, and then Rockstar acted like the Federal Reserve and IRS. We're coming for your taxes. We're coming for our taxes. We're coming for your taxes and we're collecting. And then I went on my account and had $500,000. I'm like, man, that hurts.
Yeah, I think I went down to just over $1 million.
And no, they went across the board. Everyone had 500,000.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone. That was the first wave. I think they went
bullshit.
through. I think they went through like twice, and because the first wave they did that, and then a second group of modders came through, and I was able to get some cash off that, and they went through again, did the same thing, and they said, "Well, we're gonna swipe your cash balance, but you can keep everything that you bought." With it. Which I'm like, all right, fair, whatever. I mean, whatever. None of us really worked for any of the money, but. But it was the fact that...
we did.
And it just it drove me like fucking bonkers. Because... And I've said it on this show before in relation to whatever we were talking about. And just in relation to the games. I work a 40-hour week. Video games are an escape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go into a fucking video game and have to work a 40-hour fucking week to pay for my apartment... to pay for cars, to buy shit,
To get a hooker.
just to blow her fucking brains out after. Video game YouTube. I don't want to do that shit.
I still remember
Escapism, not a fucking job.
Remember when
they're gearing us up for the simulation? Be like, you're gonna work your shitty job. Remember we were talking about that before? It's
Meta.
Like, yeah, I'm
Metaverse.
gonna work my shitty job in the metaverse.
You remember when you remember when you could steal the train in GTA?
5?
Yeah, online. You could drive the train before they fixed it. They did.
I think
because there's a video, and I'm pretty sure it's on my channel, where I parked my car.
No, you
with a hooker in it. You drove the train up behind. I got out. You're done.
Could you drive? I can't remember driving the train. I do remember.
They fixed it though.
The biggest thing that everyone. You mean you could get in the train?
No. You could drive the train.
I don't remember driving the train. Maybe you could.
It was on PS4 when it first went over to PS4.
Oh.
That's how far back that video goes.
I know.
Jack Links. Oh shit.
I know. That everyone, when that game first came out, everyone was trying to stop the train.
Yeah.
And no one could start. Well, no, they did. Didn't Vanos Crew do it once?
Yes.
After many, many, many different tries,
They were able to glitch it.
they actually finally stopped the train.
Oh yeah. Thanos crew, man.
Man, there's so many memories in that game.
Oh my god, yeah.
When are they coming out with 6? 2032, I think they said, or something like that. 2048, somewhere around there.
2099 probably.
It'll be called GTA 2099.
I know they have talked about it in the upcoming year or two.
They talked about discussing going over a storyboard in a year or two.
Apparently, it's supposed to bridge the gap from Vice City to San Andreas to 5. It's supposed to be like the most open world.
Oh, I thought you meant story-wise. I'm like, how are they going to introduce Tommy Vercetti?
Well, Tommy
And
Vercetti
with,
was
what,
the first
Nicola
3.
or whatever was part 4?
Nikolai.
Nikolai, yeah.
No, I didn't say Liberty City Stories. That's the one.
Yeah, but that was part 4, wasn't he?
Yeah, Vice City,
Yeah.
San Andreas, Liberty City.
What's his face was in San Andreas?
The black dude.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
But he's dead. Because if you look it up on YouTube, you can, as Franklin, there's like a secret mission where you can go find his grave.
Oh, really? Well, all right. So you got Tommy Vercetti, who's been alive, been a main character since '86, in GTA standards. Because then he was part 3.
Yep.
And then he was somehow like a prequel sequel.
It was 1, 2, 3, Vice City, San Andreas.
Was he in part 1? I don't know if he was in part 1 or 2.
No. 3.
3 was
and
Tommy
Vice
Vercetti.
City. And 3 and Vice City were. Oh, sorry. Okay.
It was Tommy Vercetti.
I thought you were saying Grand Theft Auto 3 was Vice City.
No.
My bad. No, but
No, that was a prequel to part 3.
yes.
And then there was like 1962, which I think came out between 1 and 2 or something like that.
That
was in London. No, that was like a top down. It was one of the original ones.
Oh yeah.
There was like GTA, then GTA London 1962 or 68. I think it was 68, something like that. Then part 2. And then that's the first one I played was part 2. And then part 3, which is like completely different than part 2. I'm like,
oh yeah.
that was like when I would play Driver. And I'm like, man, I wish you could get out of the car and run around. And then Driver 2, you could get out. I was like, man, I wish you could do something. And then GTA 3 came out. And you're like, this is everything I was talking about.
Back when they used to actually listen to us.
There was a Driver 3, you know.
Yeah.
I never played it.
I did.
I didn't even know. Yeah, I didn't even know until like was it any good
Actually, yeah.
in comparison?
No, I mean, it was your atypical driving mission
Or was
game.
it like one of those games that Driver comes out, it's innovative, and then fast forward to Driver 3, and it's trying to play catch up to to the precedent that it set.
Oh yeah.
So like Driver 1 comes out, GTA 3, and all these come in. They like expand on it, and then Driver 3 comes out. Like shit, now we got to catch up with this.
It wasn't a bad game. It was an enjoyable game. Oops, sorry. It was an enjoyable game. I can tell you that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
they need to make a game where you're a driver for president. You drive UFOs.
That was the really quick before we jump into that topic. That was actually the last mission though of Driver 1. You have to drive the president.
Yeah, you drive the president. Yeah. You're in Washington.
It's like the hardest fucking driving mission till today ever.
You know what's really easy that I used to think was hard as shit was the initiation, basically the demo for Driver. When like you'd be in the parking garage and you have to do like a 360 and 180 and then a reverse 360.
Yeah.
And then like there was one, I can't remember the name of it, but I'm like, as a kid, I'm really like, what the hell does that even mean? So, and I think all it was is like going in between like the
Serpentine.
Yeah. No, it wasn't serpentine. It was something else.
Slalom.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm like,
I knew it started with an S though.
what the hell does that even mean? So it took forever to figure that out.
I remember because you had to weave through the freaking
support beams of the columns. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh man, that was such an awesome game.
Yeah, it was.
You know, speaking of games and driving, have you checked out any of the Twisted Metal series on Paramount? I think.
Yes, Peacock.
Yeah, Peacock.
I watched the first episode.
I've watched up to like episode 7 or 8 now. Like I just binged it. I think sometime this past week or something like that. I just sat down. I'm gonna be prepared to be disappointed because that's just my expectation with most of these shows that come out. I sat down like, all right, it's not terrible, and I watched it, and they haven't butchered any character yet. They haven't really followed suit with exact characters, but I think right now they're just kind of giving you sprinkles of like this one might be this one.
There's some likeness characters here going on.
Like the main kind of reminds me of Spectre.
I thought more Roadkill.
It might, Roadkill. The two cops are Outlaw 1 and 2. Clear as day. Like it's because they're brother and sister. It's Outlaw 1 and 2.
Then there was the hearse.
Yeah, they show the
with
hearse.
The brother and the sister.
Grimm. No, not Mr. Grimm. That was
the biker.
Yeah, Mr. Grimm's a biker. Well, he's a biker in most of them. He's also drove something else in one of them. But who the hell was the hearse? Was it? I can't remember.
Reaper? No, hold on.
It might be Reaper, but Sweet Tooth is obvious.
Yeah,
he's a fun character. I like. He's not a main character, but he's just one of those ones that floats around every main character. I'm like, that's probably the best thing you could do, Sweet Tooth, because you don't want him. I think that would make everyone want Sweet Tooth more. You're only at episode 1, so I don't want to get too far into it.
So, who the fuck? Dark Side? No, Dolphin Hammer. Preacher.
No. You're at episode 1? No, the hearse is not Preacher, but they do make reference to the preachers and the head preacher. And I'm like, when I'm watching it with her, I'm like, that's Preacher. I'm waiting to see who Minion's going to be. I'm like, this better be a giant demon thing.
All right.
Axel. I want to see who Axel's going to be.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, are they going to hold true to all their designs and everything? Like, Axel's one of those characters you can't really mess around. Because if you mess around, like, at all with his design, like,
you're gonna fucking ruin it.
You can't ruin it. There's certain characters in different franchises like you can't change it because it's so iconic. Axel, a torso with nubs on 2 giant wheels. That's it.
That's not okay. That's not what I thought. Roadkill, Hammerhead, Spectre, Mr. Grimm, Warthog, Pit Viper, Crimson Fury.
Warthog, I think I have an idea who Warthog is too. And
Warthog, wasn't that the no, I'm thinking of 2. Yep. Warthogs with the station wagon on the tank. Maybe it was Twisted Metal.
Warthog has different Warthog also has like a Humvee or an APC in one of them. Like I said, it's like some of these characters have different vehicles and different, like if you compare Twisted Metal 4 or Twisted Metal Black with Twisted Metal 1, like some of them have different vehicles.
Twister, hold on. Axel, Mr. Slam, Shadow, Grasshopper. I remember Grasshopper from 2.
Yeah, that's the one that would fucking jump.
Yeah.
Cheap bullshit. Especially in the multi-level boards, you'd be like, oh, I got you. Then all of a sudden, boop. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Mortimer.
All right, yeah.
Wow.
So the problem is I haven't seen...
Mortimer is the only one that... Okay, that's cool. So, summary, short story describing this character. Mortimer is the man behind the wheel of Shadow in Twisted Metal 2. Mm-hmm. Unlike other contestants who are in the tournament to have a wish granted by Calypso, Mortimer instead has a gift for Calypso.
Twisted Metal 2. Probably. What's your favorite Twisted Metal?
Black.
I probably most people would say that. I think I like 4.
2 and Black because
2 was the first one I played.
Well, 1 I played 1 before I played 2, but 2
probably a lot of people.
I liked 2 better because it introduced you
could play as Minion.
You could exactly, and you had new characters.
Right.
A lot of the old characters came back, and you had the new characters, and you could play as Minion, like you just said. But Black will always be one of my favorites. Black and 2 are tied because the opening scene, na 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 na, fucking Rolling Stones.
Do you think that they could redo Twisted Metal in this day and age and have it be prevalent?
Oh fuck yeah!
Or do you think it'd be like most nostalgia games where a lot of people remember it and they go back and play it and they're like, because there's so many new games out now that are just better.
If they revamped it, let's go the Fortnite route with this.
With love?
Revamp it with love.
Oh, Battle Royale?
The Battle Royale or competitions.
Which really, that's seasons, what it was.
Do seasons with skins. You could get...
Oh, yeah, just soak the money out of everybody.
Oh, fuck yeah. And then, actually, no offense, look at Brawlhalla.
Oh, yeah.
Easiest...
And that's what...
It's a Super Smash Brothers knockoff.
When they started doing seasons on Brawlhalla, that's when a lot of their crossovers and everything started to skyrocket because that cash just came rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, they gave so much back in all the seasons. There's so much like trickle down shit in every freaking season. Most of the time, I'm like, And really, the only reason they get me is like, I can think of the last season, they had a special skin for Scarlet. I'm like, fuck. I have to get it because I have every freaking skin. So I got suckered in.
Got sucked right in.
Now they're dropping hints right now for the next season, season 8.
What is that?
Oh, it's not on here. It kind of looks like, kind of reminds me of their retro thing they did, the synthwave. Mm-hmm. That was season 2. Let's see, Battle Pass, season 8. What's it called? I can't remember. But it kind of reminds me of that, like the color scheme and Terminus. That's what it is.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the next reveal. And like everything you click on for the reveals, it does this, not that.
Porn.
Yeah, like that. So, 90s maybe theme. I'm gonna do like a retro instead of 80s. This time it's gonna be retro 90s because that's what the text and computer thing. It looks like.
Oh
the
yeah.
90s. So
okay,
something like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
I'll probably get that season.
Probably a couple weeks away. They'll drop it 2 or 3 weeks. I'm guessing. But anyway, how the hell do we get on that?
I don't even know.
Anyway, so
probing.
UFO hearings.
I know, right?
Did you listen to any of them? I listened to one. I listened to part of one Thursday. It was a live hearing.
I've just been seeing the TikToks.
And that's really all you need to see, because the long-winded hearings, like I was in one of the rooms painting a room or priming a room, so I had fucking 8 hours, and I was just, well, they're doing a hearing, I might as well just say listen to it. So it was kind of background noise as I was doing all that bullshit, and it was really long-winded things, and it was this guy, it was whoever was on the stand, most of his answers. It was yes, no answers, and some things he's like, I can't tell you in a public setting. It's got to be behind doors. Can't tell you like on the stand. It's got to be behind doors, which kind of alludes to whatever answer that people are waiting for. But the in short, it's just comes right after more stuff with Joe Biden, along
and. It's funny that all this, they're dropping TikTok videos. The social media is blowing up with all these whistleblowers saying there was organic matter or organic life forms, deceased, whatever, discovered. And it's so ironic that they're trying to push this agenda, this hype, this title, this headline, and gas is over $4 again.
It's climbing, yeah. It's like $3.99. Yeah.
There's a bunch of places, especially out where I work, it's over $4.
Well, that's, down toward the city. It's going to be. Yeah, it says, NPR says, U.S. recovered non-human biologics from UFO crash sites, former intel officer says. Here's the problem. Before I get into the article, non-human biologics could be...
a dead squirrel that got crushed by a rudder that fell off of a plane.
It could be an alien. It could be like a gray or a reptilian or whatever you want to call them. Or it could be a maple leaf. Because that all qualifies as that, non-human biologic. So
Swear to God, if it's a xenomorph, fuck this.
They said, they recovered non-human biologic from an aircraft or an unmanned aircraft or whatever. Yeah, it could be a maple leaf and a hot air balloon. You're a fucking UFO. It looks like they came from a planet that is covered in leaf grass.
Swear to God, a xenomorph goes to... I'm going to put the face hugger...
It's a fucking Beetleborg.
I'm going to put the face hugger right on my butt.
3... Oh, God. Can you imagine? 3 military veterans testified in Congress. Highly
the face hugger tries to pull away. No! You go in there!
You're not going anywhere.
It pulls a gun and shoots itself. God, it's the third time this week.
Congress's highly anticipated hearing on UFOs Wednesday, including a former Air Force intelligence officer who claimed the U.S. government has operated a secret multi-decade reverse engineering program of recovered vessels. He also said the U.S. has recovered non-human biologics from alleged crash sites. But while the topic of little green men did come up, much of the discussion centered on improving process for reporting unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs, the military's term for UFOs. There are also calls to remove the stigma for aviators who report UAP sightings and to ensure oversight of government programs that investigate them. That's a big reason why nobody fucking says anything. And because since I remember in the 90s, you would hear, like, there's show sightings and unsolved mysteries and all these things. People talk about, I saw a UFO, and every single time you'd hear anybody talk about UFOs, UAPs, whatever you want to call them now, instantly everyone's head would be like, here we go. And you'd think of, like, middle of nowhere, country bumpkins, straw hats, overalls, and they probably got abducted and probed, and whatever the cliche story is. No one would take anything they said with any kind of credibility. So no one would say anything about seeing anything. Fast forward 25 years, 30 years. Now we're having hearings from former military personnel about, yes, there are things, and we don't know what they are. But even so, people, even according to this, they're not going to say anything just for that stigma.
Well,
but at the same time that came out, Trump was indicted again. Again.
Jesus
Christ. He was indicted. UFO hearings were going on. The day after it was announced that Hunter Biden's plea deal fell through.
Yep.
Yeah. So his plea deal falls through. Which apparently... All right, so this is Hunter Biden's plea deal. Oh, pleads not guilty as plea deal falls apart during Delaware court appearance. It says Hunter Biden's plea deal fell apart during his first court appearance Wednesday morning, and he pleaded not guilty as federal prosecutors confirmed the president's son is still under federal investigation. Hunter Biden was expected to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax counts of willful failure to pay federal income tax as part of a plea deal to avoid jail time on a felony gun charge. The thing with that is if he pleaded guilty to that misdemeanor count, also what they did a backdoor deal, evidently.
Oh, yeah, it would drop the gun charge, right?
Yep, it would drop the gun charge, and also says specifically the diversion clause. There was a diversion clause, and he would have been granted immunity from the gun charge. So Hunter Biden was also expected to enter into a pretrial diversion agreement regarding the separate felony gun charge of possession of a firearm by a person who is an unlawful user of or addicted to a controlled substance.
Wow. Does this mean Hunter Biden's going to be the next president eventually?
Probably.
You know, it was George Bush, George H., and then crack George W.B. Couple terms later. You know, we got Uncle Joe Biden and Huff and Snuff, Hunter Biden.
Jeez.
Second. Just saying.
The judge pressed federal prosecutors on the investigation and questioned whether there was the possibility for future charges and asked prosecutors if Hunter Biden was currently under active investigation. Prosecutors said he was, but would not answer specifically what the president's son is under investigation for. You know,
you ever think Joe's sitting on his chair in the White House eating his ice cream with his SpongeBob slippers on, kind of just dangling his feet, all happy because he's got his ice cream and goes, do you think he ever stops and says, son, I'm disappointed in you? You think? Or does he just keep waving his feet watching the next episode of SpongeBob, eating his ice cream? Kamala comes in. Uncle Joe, time to go to bed.
I would gather.
I don't wanna.
He's completely oblivious to everything going on. You see, Joe did finally acknowledge his, 7th granddaughter? The one that was like the
love child?
Yeah, the one that he was like, that's not mine. Not my granddaughter. But I guess he now does acknowledge her. 6th or 7th, one or the other.
Oh, that's sweet.
But
wait, he only has one kid.
Well, now he does.
No, I'm just kidding. Hunter having 6, 7 kids.
Remember?
I'm the president's daughter. Let me put it in you.
I'm the president's daughter. That's how high he is.
I'm the president's son. Let me put it to you.
Crack.
Just like his dad. Asleep as soon as the kids rub his hairy legs.
Oh, jeez. What was brought up, though, a whole bunch of people after this last indictment, was the seeming trend that's going on with each of these indictments. And there's a timeline here I found. I was like, March 16th, oversight reveals Biden family payments toward Burisma. And then the Joe Biden $5 million bribery.
Bribery, yep.
March 17th, Hunter Biden admits the laptop is his. March 18th, Trump says Manhattan DA will indict him. Then April 4th, the Manhattan DA indictment. June 8th, FBI document alleges Hunter Biden, or Joe and Hunter, each bribed SSM. June 9th, classified document indictment. July 26th, Hunter's sweetheart plea deal collapses. July 27th, additional classified document charges. July 31st, Devin Archer testifies over Hunter Biden and Joe. August 1st, Trump January 6th indictment. It's almost like there's a fucking trend. Maybe not.
I think you're just looking into it at the wrong angle.
Yeah, maybe I'm just like...
If you go by the left calendar, it actually goes in reverse.
There we go.
See, it goes in reverse timeline. So all this Trump stuff, they're trying They're trying to cover up. They're trying to get you people to not pay attention to the Trump stuff by bringing up these false stuff about the Hunter Biden, about the Bidens.
Trump's indicted, and then the Burisma thing.
See?
Right. They're trying to say, no, never mind Trump. This is important. How stupid of me.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Trying.
You know what that is.
What? In regards to the indictment, though, the January 6th indictment, what's interesting is they indicted him on his alleged false claims that saying that the election was stolen. Said Trump indicted for efforts to overturn 2020 election and block transfer of power. This is from AP News. Donald Trump was indicted on felony charges Tuesday for working to overturn the results of the 2020 election in the run-up to the violent riot by his supporters at the U.S. Capitol, with the Justice Department acting to hold him accountable for an unprecedented effort to block the peaceful transfer of presidential power and threaten American democracy. The 4-count indictment, the third criminal case against Trump, provided deeper insight into a dark moment that has already been the subject of exhaustive federal investigations and captivating public hearings, and chronicles a months-long campaign of lies about the election results, and says that even when those falsehoods resulted in a chaotic insurrection at the Capitol, Trump sought to exploit the violence by pointing to it as a reason to further delay the counting of votes that sealed his defeat.
Real quick. Why the fuck? We are nearing the end of the third year of this circus act of a presidency.
Mm-hmm.
And we are still going on about this. January 6th.
Right.
Have you heard any or at all or even a whisper of the going-ons about all the riots, all the looting, all the vandalism, all the times that these political figures were out there, take to the streets and punch people and do things, and the billions and billions and billions of dollars of damage, the lives that were lost?
You mean like March 2018?
Yeah. But yet, that shit never gets talked about.
Well, here's the thing with like Jack Smith did. So this is the document, the actual case file. And in section 3 it says defendant had a right, like every American, to speak publicly about the election and even claim falsely that he had been that there had been an outcome determinative fraud during the election and that he had won. He also entitled to formally challenge. He was also entitled to formally challenge the results of the election through lawful and appropriate means, such as seeking reaccounts or audits of the popular vote in states, or filing lawsuits challenging ballots and procedures. Indeed, in many cases, the outcome in any state through recounts, audits, or legal challenges were uniformly unsuccessful. Section 4, shortly after Election Day, the defendant also pursued by unlawful means of discounting legitimate votes and subverting the election results. In doing so, the defendant perpetrated 3 criminal conspiracies. A conspiracy to defraud the United States by using dishonesty, fraud, and deceit to impair, obstruct, and defeat the lawful federal government function by which the results of the presidential election are collected, counted, and certified by the federal government. B, a conspiracy to corruptly obstruct and impede the January 6th congressional proceeding at which the collected results of the presidential election are counted and certified. And C, a conspiracy against the right to vote and have one's votes counted in a section and violation 18 USC. What's kind of mind-boggling is that right in their indictment, they say he was, like every American, he had the right to speak publicly about the election and even claim falsely that there had been an outcome that had been fraudulent. So even if he knew 100% that what I'm saying is bullshit, he had a First Amendment right to claim that.
Yeah.
That's backed up in the U.S. versus Alvarez, 2007. And that, it was, I believe, a senator, I think so, in California that claimed he had served as a Marine, I believe, and had a Purple Heart or a Congressional Medal of Honor, something to that effect. And he had done tours of duty and whatever. Actually, I think I have it here. He said all this stuff. He had all this, all these accolades, and let me find it. Here it is. It's a good thing I save all the shit so I can go back to it. Yes. It says in 2007, Xavier Alvarez, an elected member of a water district board in California, identified himself at a public meeting as a retired U.S. Marine who had been wounded in combat many times and had received the Congressional Medal of Honor. Quote, I am a retired Marine of 25 years. I retired in the year 2001, Mr. Alvarez said at the public meeting of the board back in 1987. I was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor and got wounded many times by the same guy. None of Alvarez's claims was true. He had never served in the Marine Corps or any branch of the military. He'd never been wounded in combat. Was never received a medal of any kind, including the national's highest military award, the Medal of Honor. Alvarez had previously boasted, untruly, that he played hockey for the Detroit Red Wings and that he once married a Scarlet from Mexico. It's almost like this guy's Hulk Hogan. The fucking stories that comes out of his mouth. Here's the key, though. So the FBI, they took him to court, and the FBI agents obtained a tape recording of the meeting. Federal prosecutors charged Alvarez with 2 counts of violating the Stolen Valor Act. Alvarez's lawyer argued that the Stolen Valor Act was invalid under the First Amendment, and therefore the case should be dismissed. The trial court rejected this argument. Alvarez was tried and convicted in the United States District Court for the Central District of California. He was sentenced to probation, 3 years, in order to pay $5,000 fine. He was the first person convicted under the Stolen Valor Act. Alvarez appealed the First Amendment issue, claiming the Stolen Valor law violated the First Amendment and therefore his conviction was unlawful. A 3-judge panel of the United States Court of Appeals and the Ninth Circuit agreed with Alvarez and reversed the conviction, declared the Stolen Valor Act unconstitutional in a vote of 2-1. The reason I bring this up and comparing it with Trump's and what they're doing with Trump is this had to do with the Stolen Valor Act. The Stolen Valor thing, after the fact, it went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court voted 2-1 that the ruling is declared the Stolen Valor Act was constitutional. But what this did was open the precedent of you can't say you served in the military and got all this stuff and it didn't happen. That's illegal. Stolen Valor Act, right? But
No,
you can't. Stolen Valor Act.
hold on. What I've always been under the assumption is in order to get convicted of the Stolen Valor Act, I could sit here and say, yeah, I was in the military. I got all this experience. I did it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I could say that. I'm retired. Hell, we're old enough to have started at 18 and retired by now, 20 years in the military. We could say we're retired. I could sit here and say, I'm a retired former military member. Army. Whatever. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
That's not stolen valor. I go to the store wearing my uniform. Say, yeah, I just got off leave. I just got retired. I just retired. I'm 40 years old. I just retired from the United States Army. I'm coming home. I'm going to spend time with my family. And by the way, I want to buy these $500 worth of groceries. Oh, well, here's your military discount, sir. That's stolen valor.
But that's not political. You're not in political office.
No.
I think
but that's where it's like, that's the reason I say it like that.
Oh, all right, yeah. Well, that would be the same as me saying like I've been a president of the United States, but it doesn't mean shit because I'm not doing anything with it.
Exactly.
But
so in this instance, where now I'm not trying to defend Alvarez. I don't agree. I agree with the fact that stolen valor is laying false claim to a service you did not do.
Right.
Whether you reap a reward or you just want somebody saying thank you for your service, or you want somebody to slob on your knob because you shot a corn off the cob. Okay? That's stolen valor. And I do not condone it. Fuck you, scumbags. No, because people fucking die in those uniforms to fucking give us the right to do what we're doing.
I know.
No motherfucker has the right to sit there and say they did it. If they didn't.
Preaching to the choir.
Sorry. That just pisses me off. That's a touchy subject. But I'm not condoning what he did. If he said all this and people were like, okay, we're gonna pick you because of that. You are our new senator. You are our new president of the United States.
Right.
Because of what you told us. That's stolen valor.
Right.
If he sat there and said, hey, I was thinking about running for president because I'm former military. You know, I have this. I was wounded. I got the Congressional Medal of Honor. And someone's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I commend you for that. Good on you. And then he goes and runs as for president because somebody decided to hear his values, and he stands for all the ideals they want represented by our president.
Right.
They're not giving him a nomination because he's a former Marine or former military. They're giving him a nomination because he stands for their ideals. That, I guess, could be protected by the First Amendment and not considered stolen valor.
I think the key is, at least in this situation, is Alvarez's case was overturned twice, first for him and then against him again by the Supreme Court because of the fact it had to do with a political office. Now, if he had said that if he wasn't running for political office and made all those claims, probably wouldn't go anywhere, whatever.
Yeah.
The fact he was in political office, it did make a difference. What that did, though, is set a precedent is like you can just completely make a false allegation, bullshit, because they overturned it the first time on that premises. He just spit out knowingly false accusations or false claims, and because it was protected under First Amendment free speech, that was overturned. But then they went back and said that the Stolen Valor Act had higher precedence than First Amendment. It's like, no, you're doing this, so we're turning it back. That I get. In Trump's case, has nothing to do with valor, has nothing to do with military, nothing. This is like him saying strictly, and under legal counsel of 3 or 4 of his own lawyers that says, there's some shady things here, you might have a case. He went and said, I don't believe the election results are real. I don't believe that they're
it's
legitimate.
Just an opinion.
It's his opinion, and he's saying that I just don't see where they're going to charge him with anything.
They won't be able to.
Here's the thing. There's 2 things where Jack Smith, the guy that's like leading this council, trying to get Trump, where he fucked up. One.
Wait. You're telling me that all of these attempts on knocking Trump down and out of the race, they haven't stuck because somebody made mistakes? They wouldn't do that.
Well, I just lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry. 2 things. He fucked up on 2 things.
Yeah, I know.
Jack Smith.
I completely forgot the first one. It's gone.
He went after Trump. He didn't look at my Star Wars book.
I don't know.
Could have been one of the mistakes he made. I'm sorry, buddy. I think it's probably his finger in the butt of him.
Nope, it's gone. I have no fucking idea. I had a good roll going on too, and it's gone.
I'm sorry. Oh shit! I did not mean to fuck your train of thought up. You hate me now, don't you?
I just, it's the whole fucking thing is gone. I have a history thing here, but
oh my God.
I know one of the things is this indictment allows Trump to subpoena. They didn't go after a full charge. What they did was give Trump due process, which allows Trump to subpoena people to bring other people in to this case to challenge January 6th legally, which is what he's been trying to do for fucking 3 years now.
Oh,
and
so
they kept turning it
down.
They left it open. They didn't just go, this is what you're being charged with. This is all. Remember what they did with Alex Jones? Yeah. And Alex had no fucking defense. It was just a kangaroo court. And we're just coming down to you. They didn't do that with Trump. This is open. So now he can bring people in and directly challenge them. That was like one of their big fuck ups.
Oh, fuck.
Which I don't understand. How do you fuck that up? But
they basically hand them the bullets and open the chambers.
But like I said, Trump sought legal counsel to say, oh, that was the other thing. He sought legal counsel to say, in regards to January 6th and not thinking, or the elections and not thinking they were legitimate. The other thing Jack Smith did was when he brought up the indictment of Trump, he left out the fact in the indictment that Trump had tweeted at the time to be peaceful in their protests. We're going to march down peacefully. We're not going to do anything. Don't riot or anything like that. He said that. His Twitter account, his Twitter handle at the time, which, whatever, he's not on it now, but, and he even had the printout and everything himself, and there's screenshots fucking everywhere on it. But he said that Jack Smith left that out of the indictment, which is fucking illegal. You can't bring up an indictment and say, like, and leave shit like that out and then make a claim like he was inciting violence when it was as clear as day that no, he wasn't. He was not inciting violence. And after the fact, after he was telling people to stop and go home, he was, not only was he telling them beforehand to march peacefully, after the fact, when things started to go awry, he was telling them to not do it. That's not inciting violence. He left that shit out. That's fuck up number 2.
Oh.
So they fucked up twice on this. Like, other times they were charging him with shit, and it was kind of obvious to some people that, not even, I mean, right-wing people are going to go like, there's bullshit, but they're just going to fucking do that, the same as the left would. But for anyone that just looks at it objectively, even semi-objectively, every time they indict him, like, I don't this has been done before. This shit's been done before. Like, why is it different now? I mean, it's kind of a rhetorical question, but speaking of different now, it has been done before. This whole thing on Trump challenging the election results has been done before in 1960. In 1960, the Democrats won Hawaii, and the Republicans had challenged it. No, I'm sorry, yeah. Republicans challenged it. They found a multitude of uncertified votes, and the Republicans hired a special counsel to come in and count the votes. Vice President Nixon counted the uncertified votes anyway, ignoring Republicans' findings, thus giving the election to Kennedy. Now in 2023, the same thing's going on. And this time it's a Republican saying, there's some indiscrepancies here. And but now they're deeming it as fraud.
Leave it to the Democrats.
Before it was okay, but now it's fraud.
You can't challenge votes. You can't challenge votes. It's illegal. You guys did back in the 60s. Shut up. No, yeah, so? Wait, what?
But, yeah, so this is the whole thing with Trump. This is just one more thing, except, like I said, this time, it's not only is it kind of like everyone's looking at it with the last indictments, like, what are they doing? I don't understand. Even some of the last ones, there were Democratic lawyers going like, I don't know what they're going after here. But now, not only are they looking like I don't know what they're going after, but now they open the door to where right-wing anyone, constituents, lawyers, and people who actually matter in this case, now they can actually go after the left. Don't worry. We're getting a seance to take care of that.
I'm not crazy. Like, it flickered?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
There we go. Oh, I'm not crazy. I was fucking starting to think I think I put the roofie in the wrong bottle. Be right back, guys.
After these messages.
What the fuck?
What the hell is that? So, veering off that. Actually, it's not really veering off that. It kind of has the same thing. MSNBC's Al Sharpton. Mm-hmm. You see that whole thing?
I heard about
went out
it.
and spit off. It says, can you imagine if Thomas Jefferson tried to overthrow the government?
Oh, God.
It says MSNBC host and race baiter Reverend Al Sharpton is a little confused on why the founding fathers are famous and what Americans celebrate every year on July 4th. This says, let me get a drink here because my throat is dry.
Way to go, Al.
One day our children's children will read American history. Can you imagine our reading that James Madison or Thomas Jefferson tried to overthrow the government so they could stay in power? That's what we're looking at, Sharpton said on MSNBC's Morning Joe. We're looking at American history and how it will play out is going to be very important. So, should anyone tell Al what July 4th is all about? Or should we just let him figure out why everyone's staring at him blankly? I don't really think I have to read any further in this, just to kind of get that.
I say let him figure it out on his own.
Al, you're a good guy. Moving on.
Don't touch children. He is reverend.
It's true. But that might be racist, what you just said, according to him.
No, it's not racist. If he's touching little boys and girls, he's a pedophile.
Unless the children are racist. I'm sure he'd claim that.
Then it's okay.
Yeah.
Reverend Al Sharpton, I do not condone the fact that you want to molest.
I like the moulet.
Racist children. But if it gets you off, see what I did there with the pun?
Wait, which one?
off of them their charges.
Ah, okay.
Oh, you gotta bleep all that out. You know that, right?
Feds drop campaign contribution charge against Sam Bankman-Fried.
What? The fuck? What?
Sam Bankman-Fried?
Oh, I thought it sounded like he's. Am I fucking drunk? Sounded like you said free ad or free ad.
This is a free ad for anyone that wants to put it here. Beep. Damn it! Now I gotta put something there. I mean, someone else. Federal prosecutors
Put
are
it there after you edit out that whole Evan Sharpton kids joke.
edit what out?
Exactly. That's why it never happened.
Federal prosecutors are dropping campaign finance violation charges against alleged crypto crook Sam Bankman-Fried over a legal snafu in his extradition from the Bahamas to the U.S. The feds moved to discuss one count of conspiracy to make unlawful campaign contributions against. You okay? Bankman-Fried, 31, after the Caribbean country clarified that it did not intend to extradite him on that charge, according to a letter filed by prosecutors in Manhattan federal court late Wednesday. This happened as well as when Trump was being indicted, when the UFO hearings were going on. This also came out. So this is one of those things. It's like,
Where's the main course? What's back there? Don't look back there. I'm just looking for the salt.
once again, never mind the man behind the curtain.
Fucking Christ.
At the same time as that's going on, all that stuff.
God. This is great.
This one's on the other side, the same as Trump and UFOs and everything else. Biden says Elon Musk connections to other countries are worthy of being looked at. So now we have to investigate Elon for being Elon.
That's racist.
Joe Biden thinks Twitter boss Elon Musk's relationships with other countries is worthy of being looked at. Biden was asked at a news conference on Wednesday whether he thought Musk was a threat to national security and if his acquisition of Twitter, with help from the Saudi Arabian conglomerate, should be investigated by the U.S. government. Quote, I think that Elon Musk's cooperation and or technical relationships with other countries is worthy of being looked at, Biden said. Whether he is doing anything inappropriate, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that they're worth being looked at.
That's racist.
That's kind of like one of these. I'm not saying he's doing it, but I'm saying he's doing it maybe.
That's racist. A white guy attacking an African guy?
Seriously.
South African?
An actual African American.
Yeah. Wow.
Not one of the, like, not what it's, a black American, but an African American. Like one from Africa.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. I didn't realize how racist our president was.
It really is. I bet you Musk didn't vote for him, so he's not black. What an asshole. In a
He's
statement, Wyden said,
Who?
Ron Wyden, Democrat, who chairs the Finance Committee, and Chris Murphy of Connecticut last week called for a thorough vetting of the Twitter deal. In a statement, Wyden said, given the Saudi regime's history of jailing critics, planting a spy on Twitter, and brutally murdering a Washington Post journalist, the Saudi regime must be blocked from accessing Twitter account information, direct messages, and other data that could be used to identify political opponents or suppress criticism of the royal family. Like fucking Twitter does. Anytime I say anything that, or not Twitter, fucking TikTok.
Facebook. TikTok.
I'm barely on Facebook anymore, but TikTok. If I say anything that has to do with QAnon, it's an instant fucking shadow ban. I figured that out. I have a video on there, and you probably can't see it, because I learned that too. That's another thing I'll get to. It says community guideline violation. I didn't delete it. I just left it there. Because I went through the video. I'm like, what the fuck is said? Like, there's nothing crazy in it said. All I said, it was a video clip from, was it last show? I think it was the last show. Where we were talking about how everyone that was coming down on Sound of Freedom was saying...
Have to, edit all this out.
No, YouTube is fine. TikTok's the problem. Where I was saying... if the people coming down on Sound of Freedom was calling it a QAnon conspiracy bullshit, and we were talking about how QAnon wasn't even a fucking thing when this movie was made.
Yeah.
Wasn't a thing. I put that on TikTok, and it was community guideline violation. I'm like, there's nothing in there. The only thing I can come up with is I went back in other videos. I'm like, wait a minute, I bet you it's the QAnon thing. If I say anything about QAnon, defending QAnon, or even quasi or pseudo defending QAnon indirectly, they strike it. It said community guideline violation, and I appealed it. I'm like, and they gives you reasons, like, and I was like, it's not clear what I violated. No response, and they just denied it. I'm like, what? I was like,
wow,
like,
way to fucking go, TikTok.
So yeah, so they're talking about they don't want possible enemies of the state spying on us. I'm like, fucking China, TikTok. Are you fucking kidding me? So, no, Saudi's dangerous. It's just because fucking Elon Musk allows people to say shit and not get fucking banned on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it
X
now.
Yeah.
But TikTok can do it. What's the fucking difference? It's because Elon owns it and he's let shits go. TikTok, they don't. So it doesn't fucking matter. But that's just bullshit. That's conspiracy theory bullshit. Not actually true.
And YouTube will strike this video because I'm sure there's a messenger really near about our situation that's probably going to nail something on the head.
So do you like acronyms?
Yeah. What's the one for anal? All nasally, annoying, loud people. Anal.
Anal pee. Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. Fucking stupid. And you know the worst part about it is?
What?
Remember when TikTok popped and everybody was talking about Trump was going to ban it?
Yeah, Trump was talking about he wanted to ban it.
Yeah, Trump talked about how he wanted to ban it.
For the specific reason of what, like...
And everybody was like, no,
yeah,
you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's a foreign media site that they need to be allowed to be involved with us.
It wasn't even that. So it's privately owned. Like, you can't go on and ban shit. You can't go on and shadow ban. You can't do any of that. And yet, fast forward to now, here we are.
Man.
It's a good thing the adults are back in the room, or whatever the fuck they said in 2020.
Yeah.
Ray Epps.
You mean Omar Epps' brother? Go ahead, sorry.
You know who Ray Epps is, right?
Yes, I know who Ray Epps is.
To be criminally charged for events on January 6th. His attorney says. An attorney for Ray Epps, a man seen on video wearing a Trump hat during the January 6th riot, and rioters are screaming "Fed" when he said he had to go in. We have to go in the White House, and the fucking people around him are like, "No, Fed."
Yep.
His client has been informed by federal law enforcement officials that they intend to charge him in connection to the events of that day. The revelation was made in a lawsuit that Epps filed against Fox News on Wednesday that accused the network and former host Tucker Carlson of defaming him. Epps has, by pointing shit out, literally, that's what it's like. Why is he here? Why is he there? Why is he saying that? Why is he here saying this? Why is he pushing for that? Why is he moving fucking barricades out of the way? Why is he stepping over and waving everyone in? I'm the victim.
Well, it's like that Megan Hall chick. You ever hear about that?
Mm-mm.
The police girl? Got banged by half her squad?
No. All right, here we go. This is a side segue. Might be a...
This is a steamy story.
Go.
So this Megan Hall chick, apparently, she's on a police department, and...
Oh, she was on a police department, all right.
No, the police department was on her.
Yeah.
I can't lift the whole meal.
You don't have to, sweetheart.
Just lift these balls. So she it comes to light that she's banging like 5 or 6 of the other police officers, of her fellow police officers, and like the boss, the sheriff or the chief.
Of course.
The chief has all these lewd text, photos, and all this stuff between him, the guys, him, her and the guys, her and him. So they all got nailed to the fucking wall. Now, when it first popped, she openly admitted, because I remember, she openly admitted, oh yeah, I was doing it. I wanted to, living out fantasy.
I was a whore.
Yeah, basically, she goes, I was a slut. Now she's got a lawyer, and she's back in the news again because she's the victim.
Of course. Like Andrew or
Tate?
No. Wrong. It's not even the right gender. Was it Heard? What's her name?
Amber Heard.
Yeah, Amber Heard.
Turd.
Like her?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a victim.
I think it's the same lawyer. That would be great. No, so
damn it, this again.
Literally, she reads from like a script.
It's poop again.
She reads from like a script about how,
Of course.
you know, she couldn't say no because she felt objectified and she felt victimized and she was terrified of losing her job. No, basically, I feel like we shouldn't look at each other while this is going on. All right. So, basically what happens is it came out and it got negative limelight.
Mm-hmm. No shit.
So, suddenly it wasn't I'm a police officer who's a sober 4, a drunk 6,
Oh boy. Oh, like warehouse eyes.
a warehouse 7,
Yeah.
a drunk warehouse
If you've
9,
never worked in a warehouse, you don't understand.
a drunk at the warehouse 9, gun to your head, gonna die
2.
if you don't put it in 2.
You understand that graph?
Sorry, Hall.
We don't either. Just listen.
So then, you know, her husband was like, wait a minute, hold up, something ain't right. Did these guys rape you, or like did they force you to this? Because if you wanted to do this, I want a divorce. And now she can't get work.
Well, no. Who the fuck?
So
Because she causes trouble.
in order to
Negative press. And
save
and
her
the fucking
marriage.
police don't need negative press any more than that. Yeah.
In order to get a job and save her marriage, she's gone back on. She's on the defensive now, saying, "I'm the victim. I was coerced. I was forced. I was intimidated. I was basically slutted out against my will."
Of course.
But there's testimonies from a couple of the other police officers whose wives got in on the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Organized, sober, 100%, all involved. All these messages, like between her and these guys, like her, like egging them on, like, "Hey, come on, let's do this. You know, my husband loves the thought of me doing this. You know, this is why I do this." All this evidence, but she's the victim.
Yeah. You think that sounds like though that'll get struck down once.
Oh,
it
I
goes through
fucking
court.
hope so.
Like, I don't.
I hope it gets struck down like she did with a jelly donut.
Like I just
And
don't
by
see
jelly
that.
donut, I mean a big black dong, because
just
that
don't-
was what like 4 of the police officers were.
I just
big
don't
and black.
see that going anywhere.
And they covered her face with grape jelly. And by grape jelly, I mean white semen.
Yeah. So going all the way back. Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Epps is being criminally prosecuted.
Good. Because he's a fucking fed. Fucking douchebag.
Yeah, the 62-year-old Marine veteran from Arizona is seen in multiple video clips from January 6th and the day before trying to whip up other Trump supporters to go into the Capitol the next day. I'll say it. We need to go into the Capitol, Epps says on one clip. At least 4 times on video, Epps repeats his call to action to go into the Capitol. FBI Director Christopher Wray says was grilled by lawmakers on Wednesday on a variety of issues, including Epps, Quote, I'm not going to engage here in a discussion about individual people who are or are not going to be prosecuted. I don't know if anything will actually come about this Ray Epps prosecution thing. But what I did find interesting when I was looking into this Ray Epps thing is that right now, for January 6th, someone who is prosecuted for January 6th, like someone actually went in, a plea deal actually involves making the accused say that Trump made them do it. Also known as communist re-education.
Oh my
Isn't that interesting? That's part of a plea deal.
The only way to get off
is say, yeah, Trump made me do it.
on the charges is to come out and say Trump made me do it.
Right.
Well, Trump made me send you that.
Oh God. I saw the first line. I don't even know. Okay, all right, it's a picture of Darth Vader and one of the admirals, and it's holding a
Darth Vader's holding
specimen cup.
Darth Vader's holding the specimen cup.
A white specimen cup.
And it says protein-based specimen.
The fuck is this? I said, bring me the rebel scum.
And then the admiral's face is all surprised.
Has nothing to fucking do with what I was just telling January 6th. You know what else doesn't have to do with January 6th, but I thought was fucking crazy and interesting? What? Is influencer faces charges of inciting a riot after New York giveaway causes chaos. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I saw. You sent me the TikTok.
Yeah.
Where the cops are walking.
Yeah, I must have.
Motherfuckers are throwing shit at them.
Fucking.
They got plywood just to cover them.
Thousands of people down there. Like this influencer, social media influencer, Kai Cenat is facing charges of inciting a riot and promoting an unlawful gathering in New York City after the online streamer drew thousands of his followers, many of them teenagers, with promises of giving away electronics, including a new PlayStation 5. The gathering produced chaos with dozens of people arrested, some jumping atop vehicles, hurling bottles, and throwing punches. Cenat was released early Saturday from police custody after being issued a desk appearance ticket, which officers issued to require a suspect to appear in court and answer charges. What do you think he's going to get for inciting violence? A riot?
Nothing. He'll get probation into community service.
Wouldn't that be something? And it's...
In the video, you literally see, like, cans, bottles. Someone throws a pylon.
Now... to be fair, he didn't actually incite anything. He just said the one thing they
come on down here and get a free electronic.
And the one thing they are going to get him for, which it was unlawful gather. It was unlawful.
He didn't get a permit.
Yeah, there was no permit. There's no legal anything that said you can get the people together, which he probably didn't even know until he got fucking charged. Like, you got to do what? I can't just gather. It's like, no, for an event like that, you can't.
No.
Well, now he knows. You think anything will come about it? I mean, him-wise, you think he'll...
No.
No. I guess this guy was known before. He's been temporarily banned from Twitch like numerous times and shit.
He won't... Yeah, he's a cheater.
No. I mean, I just mean just, like, bullshit. Like, just ruffling feathers and whatnot. Not like cheating video games or whatnot. Because he's on YouTube and
maybe I have
Twitch.
The wrong guy. I'm sorry.
That's the guy.
That's the guy. So, no, I do. Never mind. I do have the wrong guy in mind. I apologize, Kai Cenat. Yeah, the guy won't even get probation. He'll get a misdemeanor. Not even. It's like getting a fucking window tint ticket. That's what he's gonna get.
Probably.
Here, pay $60. Wait, what? Yeah, $60. And say you're sorry. And my kid wants that PS5.
But yeah, I watched the stream where he was announcing it, and him and his buddy that were in the stream was one at the bottom of the stream. What did it say? There.
We are not actually giving away electronics.
No, it said at the bottom. It said like, "We are giving away many stuff."
Oh God.
That was a nice touch. I just got a kick out of that. I'm like, yeah.
We give many stuff away.
I read it and I'm like, checks out. But they were standing there like, what are we giving away? And I'm like, we're giving away monitors, keyboards, mouses, mouse pads, towers, a PS5, gaming chairs. And as they're listing off everything, like the fucking Sinette or whatever his name is back there, like doing the like jumping back and forth. And as he's not actually making a fucking seal call, but every time I watch him do it, that's all I can see is
I gotta see this.
The fucking seal. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And then fast forward, I don't know, whatever, 20 minutes, hour a day or whatever it was, and all of a sudden there's people rioting in the streets and it's not even over anything. That's the thing. They all went down there for this thing and then just fucking automatically started rioting. Like, what are you doing?
See if I can find the video from what you sent me.
It's almost like New York City's just a shithole. And just people are pissed being down there.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So, yeah, you know. You find it? I know I have it. I have it in my history. Let me see if I can find it.
Donald Trump's arrested.
Holy shitballs. Let's see. Up in here. Let's go see if we can find it in history. See if I can see this guy do this fucking weird seal dance, jumping all over, doing this crazy ass shit.
How do you spell
Crazy? C-E-N-A-T.
Sinette, New York City.
Alright, it might be what you're looking at right there. There it is.
You don't got no excuse. All the trains go here and shit like that. We're gonna be outside right here. The side talk gonna be there and shit. Listen to me, bro. What we giving away? PC. We call it, the operation we call this is get off the streets and go stream. That's all operations stream. Operation stream. Nigga stream. Hey, look. PCs, gaming chairs, headsets, microphones, keyboards, mouse pad. I'm talking about the whole deluxe stream. Gift card.
Look at the bottom.
They're giving away many stuff.
Listen, bro, okay?
Hold on.
Yeah, so that's all I could see when I saw it. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then fast forward, everyone's rioting.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez. Yeah, then I got down here the Jason Aldean things. Like, evidently a false claim, but maybe not. Who the fuck knows? Yeah. I don't know like enough yet on it, so I can't really say one way or the other. Here's something interesting, though. This is stemming from the pandemic, moving on to now. Pandemic fitness trends have gone extremely literal.
Are people literally injecting ivermectin into their pee holes now?
Oh, jeez. It appears the far right has taken advantage of pandemic at-home fitness trends to expand its decade-plus radicalization of physical mixed martial arts and combat sports spaces. Earlier this month, researchers reported that a network of online fascist fitness chat groups on the encrypted platform Telegram are recruiting and radicalizing young men with neo-Nazi and white supremacist extremist ideals. Initially lured with health tips and strategies for positive physical change, new recruits are later invited to closed group chats where far-right content is shared. I would like to know how they bridge that. Hey, you should take vitamins. You should also work out 5 days a week, at least 1 hour a day. Active work, maybe some cardio on the side. Also, racist stuff. How do you make that jump?
You know who can't lift a weight better than you? A black man.
Physical fitness has always been central to the far right. Fuck, man. I'm part of the far right. Son of a bitch.
Hold on, no. You that's not even... You're missing the fucking... the window size. If we are throwing darts at a dartboard right now, and this whole backdrop was the dartboard, it would all be one bullseye. You literally are aiming at your fridge right now. Physical fitness has always been a key component of the far right.
Right. Okay.
So apparently the left is nothing but fat, greasy waifu motherfuckers.
Yeah. I mean...
I want my code red.
Look at it this way. We talked about this before during the pandemic. It's widely known that most people on the right during the pandemic would deny the vaccine. And most people on the left would take it, right? I think everyone can agree on that.
Yeah.
Most people on the right would also preach not taking the vaccine. Listen, if you just take care of yourself, you probably don't need that. Most people on the left
didn't.
Well, so, by rules of deduction, most people on the far right are racist. Because we talked about that too.
That makes sense.
Everything, they just bastardize the term.
Hold on.
Racist.
Let me type all that in. The way you just put it, okay. It doesn't make sense like that. Oh,
See?
I see. Yeah,
You see?
Man,
See?
shit.
That's all you got to do is just turn it upside
The
down.
right is nothing but peak performance, physically fit, racist people
Yeah.
who have common sense. That makes that doesn't. That's just that doesn't work.
In Mein Kampf, Hitler fixated on boxing and jiu-jitsu, believing they could help him create an army of millions whose aggressive spirit and impeccably trained bodies, combined with the fanatical love of the fatherland, would do more for the German nation than any mediocre tactical weapon training. In more modern times, far-right groups have launched mixed martial arts and boxing gyms in Ukraine, Canada, and France. Fuck, man. They're opening all these gyms everywhere. No fucking wonder why during the pandemic they shut gyms down and let fucking...
McDonald's.
Not even McDonald's. Yeah, McDonald's. But bars and shit. Not bars. Just liquor stores. They left those open. Keep those gyms fucking closed. You fucking racist bastards. Go get some M-Dog 20.
Now, I'm not saying all lefts are fat, obese,
No.
incoherent.
And not all rights are
pedophile.
fit. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, look at me.
But just the thought.
I'm not fat.
I'm big boned. But just the thought that if you work out too much, like some people I know, then you're a racist. And you're far right. And you probably listen to Alex Jones. Fuck me.
I'm gonna need a few more roofies if you want me to do that, buddy.
Focused on training far right nationalists and violent hand-to-hand combat and street fighting techniques. It's caught the attention of intelligence authorities, especially in Europe, where various reports have noted the role in combat sports and MMA for radicalizing and promoting far-right violence. A series of collaborative efforts between governments, national sports associations, and local gyms in place such as Germany, Poland, and the United Kingdom have introduced intervention and preventative programs. Listen, I understand you want to get fit, but have you thought about not? You don't want to be a bigot, do you?
Hold on a second. You want our guns. You want the guns. Because you don't need guns to defend yourself.
According to your neighbors up there in your train trail thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't need guns to defend yourself.
No.
And you don't need to be physically fit.
No. You need the police with guns, but we need to disarm the police because they don't need guns. Unless there's trouble, then we need the police with guns. But until then, we don't need police with guns. And you don't need to be fit.
I'm gonna
and body positivity, because being overweight is beautiful.
I'm gonna start giving people radiator fluid to drink.
Yeah, see, it all makes sense. Wait a minute, I might have to just do this. There we go.
Oh,
now it makes
now it doesn't make sense to me. Turn it back around. Oh, there. Now I can read it.
If I have this upside down black screen and facing this way, it makes complete fucking sense.
If you tuck it forward, you still look like a woman to me. So that means I'm straight, right? Yeah, whatever. Do what you gotta do, bud. Would you mind hurrying up? I'm getting a prostate exam in about 40 minutes.
So now that we've discovered that fitness is racist,
God.
While you stay at home and you're not going to the gym and not staying physically active, you would think to yourself, well, all right, I guess I don't have a firearm. I can't go to the gym. I'm just going to stay at home and play video games. Offline. Retro games, so they don't know what I'm doing. Unless you have Wi-Fi. Because if you have Wi-Fi, this is from Tech Radar, your Wi-Fi router could spy exactly where you are in a room.
Mm-hmm. By your device.
No. Your humble Wi-Fi router signal could be used to track your movements around the room bat style with a new report.
Oh, Echo Radar.
Yeah.
Echolocation.
By sonar, yeah. Researchers from Carnegie Mellon University recently published a report in which they detailed an experiment using ordinary off-the-shelf Wi-Fi routers to detect people's locations as well as their poses in a room. The experiment, although not without flaws, was an overall success, proving that the endpoints could be used to track people. It's being described as an ethical and privacy-sensitive way to monitor most elderly and alone individuals.
Well, you might not want to monitor me in my home because at some point...
What's he holding there?
At some point, you guys are... The people observing me are going to learn real fast why I have a very muscular and vascular right forearm.
Quagmire?
Yeah.
In some instances...
This fucker will pull the bone out of your fucking leg.
In some instances... feel that leg.
Yeah?
Feels like a giant cock. In some instances, the images came back incomplete or showed people in weird, unnatural positions, demonstrating that the method obviously still needs work.
I'm feeling targeted here.
But in many cases, the images created by the AI were quite accurate. People's positions within a room were accurate. Their dimensions were accurate. Their poses were accurate. Besides the occasional error in rendering, another major challenge is being able to track a bigger number of people. So far, the routers are able to successfully track up to 3 people in a room, which I think most households have, 4?
3 to 4.
Average. So, for the experiment, the researchers used TP-Link Archer A7 AC 1750 devices, which cost a measly $32. That's a cheap fucking...
You know, I don't fucking care. You want to deny it, be my guest. We've all whacked it in our fucking living room.
Who hasn't?
At this point, they've got about...
There's so many dicks all over.
A few hundred hours of me doing things in my living room that I can only describe as depressing, deeply pornographic.
Not only do they get your search history, they also have their sonar images, and all they do is map the timeline. It's like, yep, that checks out. Oh, geez.
Joke's on you, because it's only about 30 seconds of tugging and about 40 minutes of crying.
Okay, so 30 seconds, that's what you get for the action. So if their timeline is off by 30 seconds, it could be bad for you. You went back to Naruto. Like, the fuck is he... Oh, sorry, jeez. There, now it's in line. Oh, jeez, that's not really much better, but I guess it's a little ethical anyway. I guess.
Oh my god.
Not only though, not only the whatever being mapped or the Wi-Fi router, they're also, and this I saw during this like tech talk, because that's where I actually got the thing they were talking about mapping with a router. I'm like, what? But before they were talking about that, they were also talking about how they are now mapping images by thought. They're mapping your thought, and they can do this with. They can't do it like with a Wi-Fi router or anything, but what they do is they did an experiment where they how the brain fired off. They'd show images, and I think we've talked about this vaguely before, but this is in the real rudimentary stage.
Okay.
Where they'd show you an image of like a tree and like a swing and a kid like on or something, and then they'd watch how the brain fires off, and then a computer would use whatever algorithm and actually remake the image. And they do that over and over and over. And then that was when we first talked about it. I saw it was like a gray, like almost like pencils kind of sketching, and it was really rudimentary, like really rugged, like illustration where you could see what they're doing.
Kindergarten finger painting.
It was like Atari, where you really got to use your imagination, but you can tell what they're doing. Now what they're doing, they're getting color down. They're under like the whatever computer they're using, they're getting color. So what you're seeing, you're not only getting a very good shape of what it is, like a sketch, but you're getting color of what you're looking at too. What the implication of that is they obviously have to use some kind of external technology to do that, right?
Like something they have to put on your head?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God I'm safe.
Yeah, no, like I said,
they started drawing the images that go on in my head in my living room.
It's not like Wi-Fi stuff. That's like tracking, which is bad enough. Here's the thing, though. What's Elon working on? Neuralink.
Yeah.
Who's to say that can't be used for that? There we go all the way back to 1984. Wrong speech, wrong think. Mm-hmm. If you're thinking of something, you're watching something, or talking to someone, here's the fucking creepy part. If you have a bench warrant out or something, and then someone comes up to you and talks to you, and you're looking at them, who's to say they can't, track once they get like this imaging process down to a T? And you know how they can go use a computer to actually go through photographs and videos and digitally.
Traffic cameras.
They can look for people's faces and be like, oh, there they are. Who's to say they can't do that when you're like, now we're going way down the line, maybe way down the line anyway, time frame.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Maybe we're going way down the line time frame wise, but who's to say that wouldn't be a thing down the line? Now they can trace you by people's thoughts if you have the chip. But if you don't have the chip, that's fine, but you're not going to be connected to anything. Financially, social media and everything, which some people don't give a shit about, but they could make that a financial thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a good thing they still need something to put on your head, because like I was saying, if they could detect what's going on in my brain with my Wi-Fi. You ever see that guy at the computer
with your waifu?
With my waifu. You ever see that guy that's like, oh, what's this he's watching? God damn! They're gonna open up the computer and they're gonna see that, and somebody's gonna jump back to the monitor and freak the fuck out.
You want to end on a good note?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I got a little good note.
All right, good note.
All right. For a change, we got something good to put out there.
All right. You know what? I'm glad.
Yeah. From Sky News, cancer killing pill that appears to annihilate solid tumors is now being tested on humans.
Good.
Our cancer killing pill is like a snowstorm that closes a key airline hub, shutting down all flights in and out only in planes carrying cancer cells, says a professor who's been developing the new drug over the past 20 years. The new drug has been in development for 20 years and is now undergoing preclinical U.S. Research in the U.S. Known as AOH 1996, it targets a cancerous variant of a protein called proliferating cell nuclear antigen, PCNA. It is mutated from PCNA, is critical in the replication of DNA, the repair of all expanding tumors.
Oh my God.
What now?
Can I ruin this?
Oh, geez.
I am legend. Yes. Good night, fuckers. Had to ruin that. Good note.
Well, the good note was good, but Here's to the end with the weird vampire zombie things.
They literally cured cancer in that movie and created the. Oh God.
But
They cured cancer.
we got to end this on a good note.
Yeah. Naruto.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's on sale for 88% off, part 4.
Under $10.
Yeah.
Get it now. I'm going home to download it right now.
Oh yeah, it's the deluxe edition too.
Yes.
So it's got like fucking
All the DLCs and
800
shit.
characters and shit.
Fuck yeah.
It's like at first they had
Fuck yeah, Wookie.
they had one page of like a bunch of characters. I'm like, all right, fine. And then I
16.
realized you could go to like
Other
right or left. I'm
pages.
like, oh, and I'm like a whole bunch. I'm like, oh shit. Oh wait. Oh shit. And you can customize all their attributes and shit.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's
You can tweak
diff-
the characters.
There's like a whole bunch of shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. So
Naruto Ninja Storm 4 Deluxe Edition. Get it under $10 right now.
Trump. Bye.